All right, what up, YouTube? This is Chris, and this is the Chris Cross Show. So a couple things I want to talk about today. I know it's a Tuesday, and I want to kind of get into sports because I've been kind of aching to kind of talk a little bit about sports. So just to kind of let you guys know, this is the Chris Cross Show. So I do kind of like to cross on and off with sports and other things. So this week I'd definitely love to give you my NFL Super Bowl predictions. I will give you my top five NBA teams. I will break down a little bit more on the late great Kobe Bryant, who um, recently passed away. I'll just kind of give you a little bit more info on that. And I wanted to get into more stuff. I kind of wanted to show you guys, as you guys know, I'm a huge LeBron fan, so I kind of wanted to show you guys my favorite pair of LeBrons, my top five of my 17 pairs, my top five. Um, so yeah, I can't wait to get this started. I do have a surprise segment, so to say, later on in the show, and then I'll wrap it up, and then we can get started. So let's get started. All right, so the Super Bowl is this Sunday, and 49ers Chiefs. You know, everyone's been talking that this is going to be a perfect Super Bowl. I mean, at the beginning of the year, if you said, give me a perfect Super Bowl, everyone would say, like Aaron Rodgers versus Patrick Mahomes, um, or Russell Wilson versus Patrick Mahomes, and that was a lot of people's Super Bowl predictions. We got the Chiefs, but we got a surprise team this year, the San Francisco 49ers. And to kind of break down, first off, the San Francisco 49ers, they're my team. They were my team since the beginning of the year. I said this before on earlier episodes where they were the first team that I actually rooted for. Even though the NFL, I was mostly strictly like just a player, follower. Like I loved Aaron Rodgers, I loved Kirk Cousins, I loved Jimmy Garoppolo, Russell Wilson, and kind of, I liked Jimmy Graham for a little bit. So, I kind of followed players mostly, but the San Francisco 49ers are always kind of like my team. So, they're in the Super Bowl. Jimmy G versus Patrick Mahomes. It's basically a great defense versus a great offense. And the great offense is the Kansas City Chiefs. And the great defense is the San Francisco 49ers. I mean, we saw what they did to Green Bay when they were locked in. Yes, they gave up a couple points towards the end of the game, but they were just locked in and they just destroyed and sucked up Aaron Rodgers. And it was just amazing to see. Great defense. Nick Bosa has basically led the charge with them, and he's a rookie. Um, Jimmy Garoppolo's kind of held them together when George Kittle went out. Their running backs have been kind of on and off. So, it's going to be great. In my opinion, it's going to be a great game. Like I said, San Francisco 49ers, Kyle Shanahan, he was back when he was with Atlanta. When Matt Ryan went to the Super Bowl, everyone was like raving about Kyle Shanahan. In my opinion, he's better than McVay. And you can argue saying that what has he done without a good quarterback, but he's a quarterback coach, and that's his thing. He's a quarterback guru. He knows how to work that position. He knows how to put Jimmy G in his offensive team in great position every single year. I mean, they've only done it for a couple of years, but every single year it feels like any team Kyle Shanahan is the offensive coordinator or leads the charge, they do well. I mean, just look at Atlanta a couple of years ago with Matt Ryan winning the MVP. But Kansas City, Patrick Mahomes, Sammy Watkins, Tyreek Hill, all those other creative weapons that he has, and Andy Reid, who's the play designer. I mean, in my opinion, it's gonna be a Super Bowl where it's either gonna be high scoring and it's gonna be exciting and everyone's gonna be all into it, or it's gonna be a Super Bowl where, it may not live up to the hype. But in my opinion, I think it's gonna live up to the hype. Um, I'm rooting for both teams in this part. I'm mostly rooting for the San Francisco 49ers. I want Jimmy G to get it done. I want Jimmy G to prove that Bill Belichick was right that he should have moved on. And Bill Belichick wanted to move off Brady a couple years ago because of Jimmy G, because he believed in Jimmy G, and he sent Jimmy G away because Tom Brady said, "Well, I want him gone. I don't want my threat here." So I'm really rooting for San Francisco. Really rooting for Jimmy G. It'd be nice if Patrick Mahomes won the championship because Patrick Mahomes is going to be competing for a championship every year for the next 10 to 15 years. I mean, Patrick Mahomes is just that great. It is best if they win now because you always want to win now because, next year's not guaranteed. You're an injury away from not making the Super Bowl. You're an injury away from missing the playoffs just because in the NFL, every single game is important. I can't stress that enough. Every single game in the NFL is important. And, I'm rooting for a good game. My prediction is San Francisco. They win 35-30. I think San Francisco, whoever gets the ball is going to score first. And I think whoever gets the ball and whoever scores first kind of, sets the tone. Is going to win the game, but in my opinion, I think San Francisco 35-30. I think it's going to be close. It's going to be a great Super Bowl. I give it a high score because we know that the Kansas City Chiefs can light it up. I mean, they lit it up against the Texans a couple weeks ago, and they just lit them up. They were down 24-0, and everyone was like, they got this. They're still not out of this game because it's Patrick Mahomes. It's Tyreek Hill, it's Andy Reid leading the plays. So you can't count them out. And I think San Francisco, their defense, they're smart. They're well coached. I think that they're going to, give up some points, but they're also going to score some points because Kansas City's defense, not really known as a great defense. So that's my opinion on the Super Bowl. I do give it the edge to my San Francisco 49ers. All right, moving on to the NBA. So I think it was last time I did this episode Cinco, I gave you my top 5 NBA teams. Denver at 5, Utah at 4, Clippers at 3, Lakers at 2, and the Bucks at 1. Now, I want to get into this where we're in this part of the NBA where it's funny because teams are like, when's the All-Star game? Everyone wants that rest. And it's been a weird NBA season. Nonetheless, it's just been weird. It's felt so long. Like October feels so long ago, and that's when the season started. But looking at kind of the league in general. Again, my top 5. Starting at number 5, I'm gonna move them down. Utah, and I'm gonna say Utah because they're 8-2 in their last 10 games. They're 32-14, but it just feels like they're a great regular season team. Like last year in the playoffs. Ricky Rubio and James Harden. It just felt weird. I think they were first round. It just felt weird. They just felt like a weird. They just feel like a weird team. Like Mike Conley, does he work? Does he not work? Jordan Clarkson, we don't know we know how streaky he is. He's been pretty good so far. But I give Utah number 5 just because Utah's been doing well. They've been playing well. And I believe in them. Also, moving up to number 4, the Denver Nuggets. I think Denver is great. They play great basketball. They play a lot of great team basketball. Nikola Jokic, not my favorite, but he's one of the guys that's kind of been their glue. And I think Denver just plays well at home. Number 3, again, I'm going to give it to the LA Clippers. Just because they're second in the West. They're now 3.5 games behind the Lakers for first. So they're playing well. I think they're kind of starting to figure it out. The whole Kawhi sitting out back to backs, Paul George kind of out. They're starting to figure each other out more. They've won 2 in a row. They're 33-14, playing great team ball, and that's all I really got to say about them. Number two, obviously staying the same, the Los Angeles Lakers. Yes, they lost their last game, and it was to, I think it was Philadelphia. They just played poorly. They just missed a lot of open shots. You're going to get those games in the NBA where one team's just knocking them all down, and one team just can't find the basket. And that's all I really got to say about the Lakers. I mean, with everything that's going on right now, that's all I really can say about them. Number one, obviously the Milwaukee Bucks, best record in the East, 40-6. They've won 8 in a row. They're playing great team ball. Giannis is playing unbelievable. As much as I hate to say it, just because I'm not a huge Giannis fan, I'm not a huge Bucks fan. I never was. They're playing great team ball. Best record in the league, and just to be at 6 losses, end of January. I mean, you're doing something right. You're definitely on your way to clinching the best record in the league. All right, now I kind of want to get into my honorable mentions. My honorable mentions are the Toronto Raptors, the Boston Celtics, and the Miami Heat. I think it's tough to kind of get in a top 5. If I had a top 10, they'd definitely be in it. But I think, just Miami plays well. Jimmy Butler leading the charge. Boston, they're in a sense like streaky to me, but they play great team ball. I think Kemba Walker is a better addition than Kyrie. I think he's a lesser player than Kyrie, but I think he just fits with Boston and Brad Stevens' system a lot better than Kyrie would. Toronto Raptors, they've won 7 in a row. You're kind of like, how are they winning these games? They don't really have a legitimate star. Pascal Siakam is playing out of his mind. He's playing like an MVP. And, they're the champions. I mean, at the end of the day, more than half that team in that roster won a championship in June. So they all have that championship pedigree. So they know how to win. They know how to play this. They know how the stretches of this league go. So they're playing it well. They're playing well. I love Nick Nurse. I've always loved Nick Nurse since he got the job. I think he's great. I think he's crazy, but that's just me. And so that's my NBA top 5, my honorable mentions. Of course, I kind of got to give props to the teams that aren't in the top 5, but got to let you know why they're not in the top 5 or everything. All right, now going back to Kobe Bryant. I know I uploaded a video just not too long ago, but I know I talked about those were my initial thoughts, and I just kind of want to give the world my favorite moments. Because while we all mourn, it's always great to remember the good things that happened. The good moments. Especially when someone passes away. I just kind of want to give my favorite moments of Kobe. Like, I just wanted everybody to know that, yes, I've been slandering him a lot. Saying that he's not better than this player, he's not better than that player, he was a ball hog. But if you really think about it, I mean, I had a lot of great Kobe memories. I mean, the first ever basketball game that I actually sat down to watch was the Lakers and the Cavs on Christmas in 2009. And I watched it because of Kobe. And, I loved Kobe. Like, the trash can thing. If you're shooting in the trash can, you gotta yell Kobe. You got to. At least in middle school, that's what it was for me. Like, you had to yell Kobe. Especially if you made it. And, I've had a couple of days to sink in. Obviously, I'm a teacher, so my students know that I love basketball. So I had a bunch of students these past 2 days come up to me and be like, just talk about Kobe. And, some are asking me, like, what are your favorite memories? Or did you really know Kobe? So it was kind of nice to see that, they looked at me. A lot of people said they thought of me just because they know like I'm just like so into basketball. So it was kind of nice to get those reactions, um, and just to kind of have people looking out for me as well. While remembering about Kobe, saying, "Hey, I thought about you." So it's felt nice. It's felt nice that the students have kind of like mourned also, and have kind of gravitated towards me. I know I'm usually like an open book in school. I allow students to come and talk, so it was nice to kind of get those connections, just to kind of be able to relate to the students with that. I know a lot of my students didn't really see Kobe grow up as much, but they're I gave them some of like moments from Kobe's career to them. So that's all I really had to say. I just kind of wanted to say, again, rest in peace to Kobe. He was definitely one of the reasons why I started watching basketball. Um, Surprising to me still. It still hasn't really sinked in much, and I hope you guys are all doing all right with that. I know I had a couple friends in high school who were huge Kobe fans. So I just kind of, if they're watching this or if they ever watch this, just kind of let them know I'm shouting you out there. And hopefully you guys are all doing all right as well. All right, now I want to get into this segment, and it may or may not get a lot of hate for this, but we all know I'm a huge LeBron fan, right? We all know the guy's my guy. I mean, if it isn't obvious enough, I've been wearing a LeBron shirt this entire show. So one thing I wanted to get into is, people say like, "Oh, I want to see your pairs of LeBrons. I want to see your pairs." I have a lot. Okay, I have a ton. And one thing I wanted to get into is my favorite pair of LeBrons to wear or to play basketball in. So starting with number 5, Soldier 11s. These, I bought them in 2017. I haven't really worn them much. I just kind of use them to kind of practice when I'm shooting hoops by myself in the gym. I don't really play in these as much, but the Soldier 11s, in my opinion, I love the ankle protection it has around here. It protects me really, really well. I think the traction is great. I usually don't slide. I usually played in the Concordia courts, my college courts in these. I haven't really played much in any other courts, but these don't slip. They're great. I love the camouflage color. I think they're awesome. They're super duper great. I mean, they're still not damaged, and I hooped in them just about every single time I hooped. So I really love these pairs. I really love this pair in general. I have 2 other pairs. I have basically the moon boot looking ones, and I have the black ones. I think the ones he wore for a Christmas game against Golden State in 2018. So I love these. I love hooping in them, and that's all I can really say about them. All right, my 4th favorite pair, at least as of right now, is the LeBron Witness 4s. They came out, I want to say in October or September-ish. I love this colorway. I have another pair. I have the black and white ones somewhere around here. But I love these because of the zoom pod. I know in the other Witnesses, they have the zoom, like the zoom unit, like it says zoom right here. But I like how they have the zoom pod out here, as you can see here. I love the line in the back. It, kind of symbolizes LeBron really well. They resemble the 17s for sure. A little bit of a cheaper version. Buyer friendly. Not the best to play hoop in. I was playing. I'm a coach, and so I was playing with these one day, and I slipped and I twisted my ankle. Kind of like a mini twist. It didn't feel so great, but just great to. I love just wearing these casually. I'll wear them to school. I'll just kind of walk around, go out with these, just because they're extremely comfortable. I love the cushion, and a lot of people hate the cushion. A lot of people hate the high Air Max, but I love it. So yeah, this is definitely number 4. All right, number 3. I got these over the summer. I was raving about these over the summer just look at these beauties. I mean, they are just amazing. The Hyper Jade LeBron 16 lows. I love it because of this. It says Nike LBJ. I love this part definitely. I also love this part, if you can see it. I'm a huge fan of the 16s. I think the traction is great. I love just wearing these casually as well. You know, I'm not a huge fan that it's kind of a low version. So, you know, at least for me, in my opinion, I love these. I love the traction. I just love casually wearing these because they're just so comfortable. And they're easy to put on as well. The tongue kind of stretches. So, yeah. So, that's my... Now, this one, there's a background story to this one. LeBron 16 Super Bronze. Now, let me give you a background story on these. So, LeBron wore these on Christmas 2018. It was actually 2017 where LeBron wore the other, where he wore the Soldier 11s for the second half. But this is Christmas 2018. Wore these at Golden State his first year with the Lakers. When I saw these, I fell in love with these. I didn't buy them until April, and the only reason I bought them was because it was the time of my college graduation, and I was choosing either between the Martins or the Super Bronze. And I just wanted the Super Bronze because, I don't know. I mean, it's Superman. You know, it's a great superhero shoe. Awesome to wear. I rarely ever wear these. I mean, that's why the traction is so great right now. I probably won't even wear these at all, just to like go outside. I did take these to vacation with me, and I only wore them in the car, just because they're just so white right here, and I just don't want to get them dirty. But yeah, I wore these to my college graduation. Got a lot of weird faces, got a lot of compliments, but you know, like I said, a shoe that I wanted to graduate in, a shoe that means a lot to me just because it's from LeBron. It was worn on Christmas. And you know, if you guys know me, you know my Christmas background story as to why Christmas is now so meaningful to me and my family. But you know, I just love these. I think they're awesome. I think they stretch well. I'm a huge LeBron fan, of course. So, you know, obviously LeBron 16 Super Bronze is definitely one of my favorites. But this, I'm going to get into it right now. This is my favorite pair right now. I just love casually wearing these. The LeBron Icon John Elliott's. I love these. I love the Air Max. I love the translucent right here. I just love how they're kind of casual wear shoes. I wear them just about basically every day to school. You know, they look like bowling shoes, to be honest with you, in my opinion. But I love these. I mean, they're just so comfortable. They're just nice casual shoes. And, you know, they're just so nice. Like, I went on a date with these, and so I was just, like, raving about them. But, you know, like I said, I love these. I probably will never, ever hoop in them, but I'll just kind of wear them casually, and I just love them. Kind of a little dirty because I wear them to school, so, you know, but yeah, like I said, I just love these. And that's basically it with my top 5 pairs of LeBrons that I have. I mean, I have, and if I could go on about the actual list, I would give you definitely something else. But, you know, that's it for that segment. I hope you enjoyed my LeBron rant again, just because that's who I am. All right, so this segment, and I said it was a surprise segment because I kind of want to just do like a random thing, like where I'll just like maybe like spiel for like 5 or 6 minutes. So one thing I want to say is I'm a middle school teacher, right? And I'm not going to hide it from anyone. I don't really show it to anyone. So one thing I want to say, especially about, you know, being a teacher in general, is it's fun. I can't imagine myself doing anything else. And I just love, you know, teaching in general. I just love seeing how students progress. I've always been a person that has just loved it when people succeed. I've always cared about people's success more than my own, and that's just who I am. You know, like I'll go to games, I'll go, you know, to games and I'll just cheer them on because I want them to succeed. So, you know, like I said, being a teacher's always been something I've always wanted. It's always just felt right for me. I mean, I could never see myself being a police officer. I could never see myself being a firefighter, a lawyer, a doctor. And those are all great jobs, but it wasn't for me. Um, so, you know, to kind of go through my path, um, is, you know, like I said, I just always wanted to be a teacher. I mean, my aunt's a teacher, and I used to go to her classroom, so it used to mean so much to me to just kind of sit in her desk and just act like I'm a teacher. And that's kind of where it all started when I was younger. So, you know, like I said, it's nice being a teacher. Like, it's so great. Like, you know, especially being a middle school teacher where, you know, kind of students they're growing up, they're learning a little bit more about themselves, a little bit more, you know, of their friends and themselves. And so it's always nice to kind of just see those connections. I mean, there's always something new every day being a teacher, whether you're an elementary school teacher, whether you're a high school teacher. There's always something new every day that keeps this job interesting. Um, there's always like a new thing, something going on. You learned a new trend, so you're still trendy, and it's fun. And you know, I love my coworkers. They're great. They're all awesome. They're all always there for me, and I love that, you know, having those coworkers that are just always there for you, that are basically your rocks in a sense, because they keep it real with you. They help you out. They're always there for you. We kind of see each other when we're having a bad day. We just kind of come up and talk to each other about it, and it's just so nice to kind of just have that, in my opinion. You that Nothing else can beat that. So that's the one thing I'll say about that, and I don't regret wanting to become a teacher because I think it's so great. Um, and that's my segment on, you know, in a sense, being a teacher, and, you know, not really my background story, but more of like my daily situation. All right. Also, this segment's kind of like, you know, another random one. I'll promise this is my last random one, but I get a lot of love hate jokes from my friends from stuff I typically post. If you guys haven't noticed, I post, you know, like I'll post a picture of like me standing next to LeBron or me doing something, um, like a Photoshop, and it's just a troll. I mean, I'm a huge troller. I love trolling. I think it's fun. I think it's great. Um, you know, in my opinion, you know, that's just who I am. You can't really change who I am. I just kind of do it for the fun. I know people like to laugh. Some people actually take it serious when I'm trolling. And, you know, it's just one of those things where it's like, you know, just don't take it as serious. Just kind of have fun with it. You know, have fun. You know, the people who troll aren't fun. No, the people who make fun of trollers aren't fun, because they're just, you know, I'm here for a fun time. You know, I'm on social media to have fun. I'm on social media to just kind of see posts, see what people post. Um, in my social media, at least, it's a lot of trolling. You know, like I'll take videos of me playing basketball with the caption saying that, like, you know, I suck or something. So just to kind of troll, have some fun with this stuff. Um, Sometimes I'll post like a meaningful post, but most of the time I'll just kind of troll or whatever. So yeah, like I said, I mean, I just kind of want to talk a little bit about the trollers. I know some people, they'll never like your stuff, but they'll be quick to comment when they disagree with something, and you gotta love those people because they're just they're fun, but they're not fun. You know, like they only comment to troll or to make fun of you or just to disagree with your opinion, but they'll never like any of your like meaningful posts. Um, so it's always kind of funny, and that's just my opinion on that. All right, so this is kind of the end of my show. I just want to say thank you if you actually listened this long. I know it's a long video, and I gave you a lot of information, but I just love talking, and that's basically why I made this show, so I can just talk and about sports and give my opinions, and you know, just kind of have people comment. Like I said, I encourage people commenting. I encourage people reaching out, asking questions. So if you have any questions, any new segments you want me to try, you know, if you want to come in as a guest, I am more than welcome to have you as a guest, and we can talk about things, anything you want. I kind of wanted to replicate my college show that I had, where I kind of had guests, where we talked about random things, where it was just kind of fun to just kind of casually talk and just kind of have let the world know who we are. Um, because like LeBron's thing is more than an athlete. I want people to know that I'm more than just a teacher, that I'm more than just a basketball fan, that I'm much more than what is obvious to people. And that's what I definitely want um, this show to kind of be the backbone of, is just that I'm more than what I appear to be. Um, and that's great. And if anybody wants to be a guest, if anybody wants to have a comment, if anybody wants to comment their opinions, I would strongly encourage it. I'm always up for constructive criticism. I'm always up for a conversation, no matter what time of day it is. So just like and subscribe, please, and thank you. Thank you for listening. I know it's long, but that's just who I am. I love talking. I love these shows. I love doing them, even though I'm just literally sitting in my room talking to myself. And I hope, I hope this is fun for you if you're watching. And I just want to say thank you.